God said I should marry you. God said you are my wife.
Really?
Yes.
Why did God tell you?
God told me when I was in a trance and I was in a deep vision of the night and day together in between, and I had a deep revelation and I saw you at the well.
Always at the well.
Yes, that's
You
the
are not
concept.
upgraded.
So when you're at the well, you are fetching water.
Oh.
And
No, you should be the one fetching water.
no,
okay,
you were the one fetching water. How were you in the dream?
Okay, sorry.
Were you in the trance? So you were fetching water. When you were fetching water, I now decided to say, young woman, can I help you with your water? Oh, it's true. I should be the one fetching water.
I said
sorry. Rewind. I was not fetching water. When I was fetching water, and you came to me and be like,
and I collected the fetcher.
Man of God, can I help you with this water?
Oh, son of man.
Yes, no.
Okay, man.
Whatever the case.
All right.
Can I help you with this water? And you decided to help me with the water, and you helped me carried the bowl, and we went home together. And I woke up.
Wow.
And I knew from then that you are going to be my wife.
So how does that relate to God said you are my wife?
Yes, that's the interpretation of the dream.
I
have the gift. Yes.
Alright,
All right, guys, welcome back to our channel. This is Ezekiel Akingbola, and this is Mrs.
Nike
Akingbola.
Yep.
Yes. All right. So in today's topic, we want to talk about God says you are my wife, or God says you are my husband. So we've seen so many issues.
Have I ever heard God said you are my husband?
Yes, it happens.
Okay.
Yes. We've seen many issues that so many people will come up with the slogan that God said you are my wife, and they use that as a caveat or as a means of
basis
getting the spouse hooked on their offer. So we are going to be discussing that today. So hang on and make sure you subscribe to this channel if you have not, and enjoy the video.
Please like
the video. All right,
and share with your friends. Yeah, welcome back. So he said God said I'm his wife.
I said I was kidding. Thank you.
Okay,
sorry.
You're kidding. Although we're not married, so maybe God told you.
No, we are married though. Hello.
Oh, I lost.
Where's your ring? We are making this video again.
It's no longer my size anyway. So I'm going to get a new one.
Alright.
Yeah, so this topic is a funny topic actually. Maybe it's not funny because it's marriage we're talking about here, and it's one of the important issues that people get to talk about and even pray about, because before marriage, and I mean marriage determines a whole lot about people.
Yes, it does.
Whom you marry determines the outcome of your life, so to say. Because one of the major decisions you will take in life, you will make in life, is who to marry.
Yes.
And if you're a good person and you marry the wrong person, it will mar your life forever. So this idea that people come up with, that God says you are my spouse or you are my partner, sometimes people just, let me say, sometimes people hide under the guise of God said.
But is it that God cannot say that somebody?
Of course, God says.
Okay.
God speaks to His children, and God is the architect of our lives.
Yes.
And it determines everything about us.
Yes, it does.
So, but there are certain decisions that God will not make for us. So to say, it will guide us.
Yes.
This is my own perspective.
Okay.
Because some people believe that when it comes to marriage, God has to show them or even tell them the name, the height, the color, the origin of that particular person they want to marry.
Yes.
So they believe that God will give them those details about whom they want to marry. And this idea or this concept of God said or God's will when it comes to marriage, I feel like people have misinterpreted it based on their own understanding, or sometimes to even serve their own selfish purpose. Because sometimes when you are saying God said you are my wife, or God said you are my husband, the other person, if the other person also has access to God, the person should
be able to
have a confirmation. So I feel that sometimes we can do better. I don't know. Because I'm not against I'm not against saying God said, but there is a way we can go about it without making it seem like we are imposing our own revelation on the other person. So we should also give room for the other person to also confirm from God. And I feel that this issue of or this idea of God said or God's will for when it comes to marriage, I think it's more of a system
Yes.
than focusing on a person. I don't really know how to put this,
Yeah.
but I know the fact that God has God's way for us is perfect, God's way for us is good. So on that basis, we know that anything God has destined for us or has planned for us is good and is perfect. So I feel that if you are now saying somebody you have to marry a particular person, I feel that idea is flawed, because what if the person dies? So does that mean you're not going to marry?
Yeah,
So I feel like this idea of God's will is more about a system than a person. So, and if we are talking about a system, we know how God is the one that instituted marriage, and He has a template that He wants us to follow, and it kind of he has the kind of family that God expects that we should build. So anybody that fits into that picture or that program, I feel the person is God's way for you. So I think that it's more about your understanding of who you are and what God expects you to do in marriage, right?
Yes.
So before you can now know who will fit into that picture.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
Yes. In addition to that, you see, I think this concerns the brother most. So all the brothers come close. When you get a revelation from God, it is not impossible to get a revelation from God. It is normal. If as a child of God, God should speak with you constantly, and He should communicate with you at every point in time, at major decisions of your life, especially marriage, right?
Yes.
It should speak to you when you are dressing up. It should speak with you with the kind of food you want to eat, kind of school you want to go to, the kind of work you want to do, those minor things. So it is not in marriage that God should not speak to you. In fact, that should be a taboo. So He should speak to you in marriage. But the question is that your presentation of that particular revelation you have received from God to this particular woman must be done in such a way that it should be acceptable, not mandatory. So I think that's fundamental. Yes, or imposing. If you come to a woman and tell her that God said you are my wife, and number one, like my wife said now, do you want her to disobey God?
Exactly.
You must give it's an option, it's a choice. Before now I used to be of the mindset that once I see a woman and I tell you that I'm supposed to be my, and you don't marry me, I pity for you. You are gone. You have gone astray. But it's not true.
Exactly.
It's not true. It doesn't work that way. God's will always come to pass, especially if it is destined to be. So it is not in my place to take over the will of another person, and then it's more Pastor Greg will call it
witchcraft.
I see it as witchcraft, because you are taking over the will of another person and trying to
the person.
Yes, you are manipulating another person. Because at the end of the day, imagine you come to me and I tell a woman that you are God's will for me and you are supposed to marry me compulsorily.
And if you don't marry
me, you are going to be gone. You are not going to. You are going to miss the bone of your bone, and there will be consequences. Yes, there will be. You will end up going astray, and you will just get destroyed. That is, you are more or less a prophet of doom. Quite alright. God has spoken to you of the kind of person or the system that will bring about the kind of person you should get married to. So if that person is in existence, the only thing you should do is to reach out to her. So let me give you a template now, like I did to this babe now, you see. So it works. So listen. Okay. All right. No, now I'm an expert anyway. So all you need to do is, to be frank now, you go to the woman and tell her that, hello, you ask, make sure it's somebody you are familiar with anyway, because personally I'm not really a proud person, but I hate to be to be rejected. So most times when I proposed to her, I was very sure, even though she was not sure. So I was very sure that this is going to this is it, and without there's no iota of doubt, even though there was some dramas at the end of the day. But the point is just that you go to her and tell her the details. The detail is going to be that I love you, right? And I see a future together with her. I see you and I having a future, and I think you should take your time. So there should be a place, even after all the story, I know there should be some underground wooing, and make sure her head is spinning and all those things. So after you've done all this, make sure you give her a chance. Please go and pray about it. But I think ladies should be talked to here too. Why do you guys always take a lot of time to pray about it? This woman prayed for how many months?
Well, I can't remember.
She prayed for like 3 months. Me, I will remember. Yeah, she kept praying. Alpha, has God not spoken to you? So please, ladies too should help the brothers. When you are trying to interact with God, let God speak to you.
God spoke to you now. At least you should be patient enough to wait for God to also
yes,
speak to
but the beauty of it all is just that there should be you allowing her to choose. She must be able to make the choice, because for me, I think she has the biggest responsibility, because I've seen situations where brothers will tell 5 or 6 sisters, you understand, and tell them you are going to be married, you are going to be married, you are going to be married. So it takes a woman who is highly discerning to you to know that this person is a cheat, this person is crook. So more work is to be done by the woman. So there should be a place of allowing her to choose. All right.
Yes. So you don't want to impose your revelation on the other person, because you feel like you are the only person that has the monopoly of hearing God.
Yes.
The other people cannot hear God. Yes. I feel that's not right.
Yes.
And I also feel that, or I think that even God sometimes doesn't violate our will.
It doesn't violate our will.
Sometimes
yes, it doesn't.
Makes us It allows us to make choices.
Yes.
So
I give to you life and death. You
I know there are people
yes.
that he said that, and I know there are people that they were lucky, or I don't know, maybe they were privileged to just have that information that this is the exact person they want to marry.
Yes.
But even if you are 100%
sure, yes.
God has shown you the picture, you know the name, you have all the details, but there is a way you go about it, so that even for future reference, it won't be like, because God said I should marry this person now. Because when issues now
arise,
come up, or when issues
arise, the will
will
no longer be there again.
If not because God said I should marry you,
yes.
It's like something that a decision you did not make on your own. So, and because of for that reason, you cannot own up to that. To your you cannot own up to your responsibility, or you cannot own up to your mistake, because you feel like if not because God said I marry you, so when it is time for you to step up to your responsibility. And the point is, whether it's God's will or man's will,
there will be trouble. Yes,
work.
There will be trouble. There will be issues arising.
Yes. So don't let us now say, okay, I don't have the guys of God's will, and you don't give room for the other person to also hear from God.
Yes.
And you don't give room for the other person to also own up to their decisions. Because if you ask some people, why did you marry this person, they will tell you, and God said I should marry the person. So when things now start shaking the marriage or start shaking the relationship, they can't even say for this and this and these reasons. Not only because God said, but for this and this, I will stand my ground to make this relationship work, because I chose you.
Yes.
And
it's
the fact
important.
is, even your said God's will for you, in future you will still find people that are better than those people.
Yes.
You'll find somebody more prettier, more handsome, more intelligent, more richer than your spouse.
Yes.
So in that case, what will you do? And sometimes I've also heard stories whereby somebody will say they missed it in marriage because they found a better person. They will not say, I did not marry God's will. So they will not use that excuse, to leave their marriage because they feel like this person, they will not tell the truth, or they will not say this person I found it's better than my spouse. They say when I married down my wife, my husband, I was an unbeliever. And let's also put it as a caveat: if you married as an unbeliever,
doesn't nullify the marriage,
and the marriage has been consummated, there are children, the person has become God's will.
Yes, so automatically,
because they are now born again. Now you now want
to marry a righteous woman.
It doesn't work like that. You already married God's will for you, so go and work on your marriage.
All right, guys, I think that's the end of this video. But what do you think? What's your perspective? What can you really bring out from what we've said? So what's your perspective about thus says the Lord, you are my wife,
and you have to marry.
And you have to marry me. Thank you very much. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up. We'd love to see you in subsequent videos. Thank you. Peace out.